As perhaps mentioned earlier, the Commonwealth Connectivity Agenda's main purpose is to provide an approach for members to boost trade and investment across the Commonwealth, in the process grow intra-Commonwealth trade to about $2 trillion by 2030. That's a big task ahead of us. This agenda will create a platform to facilitate dialogue, networking, and collaboration within the member states. If the past 2 years have taught us anything, it is that the world is a global village that is more interconnected than we could ever imagine. The pandemic brought the world to its knees, and it was clear that one major issue can affect each and every country in a similar way, regardless of size or demographics. This is why I strongly believe that a common point joint strategy can mobilize and stabilize the already shaken global economy and create opportunities to indeed grow intra-Commonwealth trade exponentially.
The year 2022 will go down in history as a time of great change and great challenge for the Commonwealth. Yet we meet today not to lament the tricky hand we've been dealt, but to plan our next moves together. United by our rich history, shared values, legal systems and business practices, a common language, and so much more, the Commonwealth has a unique convening power, huge global influence, and, to put it simply, it's a great place to do business. The Commonwealth advantage means that investment is 27% higher between Commonwealth countries, and bilateral trading costs are on average a fifth lower. So in the face of these knotty issues, we must leverage that advantage and make the Commonwealth the face of our global economic recovery. We do have a chance to seize the opportunities that challenges like climate change present, the application of new technology, new investment opportunities, and new jobs and skills for our people. And I'm sure Lord Marland and others will say more on this topic, so I want to speak just briefly about how, with a unique convening power and leverage of its own, the city will support the Commonwealth's work. From providing capital for infrastructure and innovation, to enhancing trade in services, providing independent legal services, and sharing our expertise in areas like insurance and green finance. As Europe's leading financial hub, the Square Mile has a huge role to play in helping Commonwealth nations face down the global problems I spoke of earlier. And as an international ambassador for the UK's financial and professional services abroad, I will spend about a third of my year on the road. During those travels, which will take in several Commonwealth nations, I'll be highlighting opportunities for trade and investment.
But it is a great pleasure to be here to speak about how we take on the changes and challenges that lie ahead, from health and technology to the environment, food security and finance. And it's wonderful to have the opportunity to once again celebrate the existence of the Commonwealth itself. 1/3 of the planet's population, with 60% of them under the age of 30, a collection of much valued trading partners for this country, representing almost 10% of our total trade with the world. 56 independent and equal countries working together for prosperity, democracy and peace. What the Commonwealth Charter aptly calls a compelling force for good. Now, the sheer size of the market and the diversity that we together possess leads me to the conclusion that doing so is not just a challenge, but a marvelous opportunity. And I think that seizing these opportunities are also part of the solution to the other challenges the UK and the Commonwealth nations face at this time.
One of the things that we got a ticket for as a government was to propagate what we will do to give access to the small and medium scale business people and traders in Kenya. So we had what you call the Hustler Fund, targeting the very, very small people. Believe you me, now through technology, without middlemen, what Kenya has done in the last few weeks, launched by the president, is to provide access to credit where a simple trader, the lowest of the lowest, can access about $20, be able to trade with it, turn it around, and we have provided a facility where at a personal level, if you are doing it well, you can borrow up to $500. Now that looks pocket change for most of you here, or it sounds like pocket change, but I can tell you that within the Commonwealth, there's that segment out there. That is where the bulk of the people are, and they must have access to credit to be able to trade and therefore multiply and grow into the bigger traders that we want. I dare suggest that our response as the Commonwealth must be to increase our capacity building connectivity and knowledge transfer programs. This will improve our individual, national, and collective economic outcomes. More effort, therefore, must also be placed in making our education systems fit for purpose in a never-changing, globally competitive context. In Kenya, for instance, we are constantly reviewing our educational system, and we are now introducing a competency-based curriculum so that we can enhance the talents of the young people at a very early stage and be able to help them gear themselves and prepare themselves more effectively for the future that is unfolding very rapidly. In Africa, for instance, for generations, we have had defined intercontinental transport and logistical corridors that are critical to making our trade interventions viable. Our sea and land ports, rail and road infrastructure must effectively spin the trade wheel faster and further. I would therefore urge the Commonwealth to seriously consider an all-encompassing, cohesive infrastructure master plan for moving goods and services between her members and beyond. Therefore, this is something that I think we can develop together. We can support each individual nation within the Commonwealth to have that master plan, and we see how it fits into the bigger whole. Let's just have a quick glimpse at the quantum of trade. Commonwealth's global exports of goods and services stood at $3.75 trillion US dollars, representing about 15% of the world trade. The value of intra-Commonwealth trade in goods and services stood at $673 billion US dollars. And we are seeing that if we push, as it has been highlighted, we have the potential to grow the inter-Commonwealth trade to $2 trillion US dollars by 2030. This is a target that we must really focus on. It will have a serious impact on about 2.5 billion people. So we really must look at that target. 3 C's, commonalities, commonwealth, and commonwealth. Opportunities abound on our collective histories, common language, common legal structure, a wide geographical spread, and a large population. We must make this count. There is more that binds us than distinguishes us. Our clarion call must be creating commonwealth and perhaps this was the hidden vision in the forebearers in coining the word commonwealth. Commonalities, commonwealth, and commonwealth. On Wednesday this week, that is the day after tomorrow, the British Foreign Secretary will be in Nairobi, where they are doing a groundbreaking ceremony or event with the President of Kenya, Dr. William Ruto, in launching what we call the new railway city, a development program that improves on connectivity of the railway system, and at the same time, developing over 500 hectares of land right in the middle of Nairobi, supported by the United Kingdom's export financing as one of the flagship projects that we shall be pushing forward. So in case you happen to be in Nairobi, we would be most happy if you can be part of that in the next few days. And indeed, that is just one of the programs that Prime Minister Sunak, when he met with President William Ruto in Egypt a few days ago, announced a schedule or a package of a number of programs that they want to work with in Kenya. So this is a destination that you cannot avoid. You have to find your way there. And finally,
unataka kufanya nini yodo?
Nataka ku expand business, nitaweka gari nyingine.
Oh, sasa bro, acha nikueleze. Kuna app inaitwa VIP. Unaona sasa, ukiwa na hii app, ni app yenye inakusaidia kumanage busy yako. Sasa wewe kama mse wa taxi, ukimanage transactions zako through VIP for the next 3 months, unaweza get access to loan. Na pia kulingana na design yenye unakopa na unalipa hiyo loan, wanaweza kupatia pia access to a better handsome amount ya loan. Unanipata ndugu yangu?
Nakupata. Hiyo kwanza iko verified.
Kabisa, download VIP leo na expand business yako in the next 3 months, au sio?
Kabisa bana, hata niweke
sahi.